for the 8 countries that use the EC dollar. We call them the ECCU, or Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. So the Financial Information Month educational campaign, what we try to do is to empower our public, the business public and the general public, to empower them through education. So we give tips, we hold sessions, we hold town hall meetings to ensure that our young entrepreneurs and even our mature entrepreneurs can keep up to date with all the financial information necessary for their success. That is basically what Financial Information Month is. And in Dominica, we have about 20 partners, including my company, Insurance Company of the West Indies, ICWI.
All right. And of course, another partner is the NDFD.
Yes, they are right here.
All right. So let's say good morning to our folks here from the NDFD.
Good morning to you, Matt.
Good morning to you. Your name?
My name is Donald Bercasio. I'm the
Bercasio.
I'm the institution's business and entrepreneurial development manager.
Okay.
And with me this morning is Miss Juanita Casey.
Hi, morning.
Hi, morning.
Okay. I am a business and entrepreneurial development officer.
Okay. All right. So you have your partners here. Any specific subject you want to discuss this morning?
Okay, this morning I already introduced ICWI. I can tell you more about our theme. I'm sorry, the Financial Information Month. I can give you a little more insight on the theme. And I will be presenting for the Financial Information Month partners on generational planning. That's how you plan to secure your family for generations to come. So I have a short presentation on that.
Well, go ahead. We're listening.
Okay. The theme for this year is wealth creation for financial resilience. Resilience, let me break it down, how you bounce back, like how we bounce back from Maria, or even how you bounce back from having health issues. You know, the health issues these days, they cost a lot of money and they can drain your little savings. So how we bounce back from that. Even pandemics, even catastrophes, anything to do with disaster or anything that will set you back financially, we're trying to see how we can create wealth to bounce back from that. So we have some sub themes. Plan for tomorrow, investing little by little, and remember that time is money. So on Plan for Tomorrow, I will be presenting generational planning, or how you plan for your future generations. People call it generational wealth. They just usually use that term, generational wealth. But I see it as generational planning because you're not just leaving assets, but you also want to leave financial wisdom so that the people that inherit would be able to sustain what you leave for them and carry it on to their own future generations.
No, let me just ask a question. As you talk about plan for tomorrow, the issue is, and I'm sure people are listening and asking, but I don't have anything in my hand. How do I plan for tomorrow?
I understand that very well because inflation and other economic setbacks. Sometimes we ourselves, our generation right now, Matt, we didn't really inherit anything much.
All right.
Most of us. But we still have to start little. That's why part of our theme is start little, investing little by little. Let me just give you a short example. When my daughter was born, her father and I, we decided that for every year that she's on Earth, we want to have $1,000 for that year. So if she reached 30 years, we want her to have $30,000. What we did, we started small and calculated how much it would take every month for her to get at least $1,000 in a year. That's just our way. So we started that small saving, and trust me, it really, really did make a big difference. Somebody with less can start with less, but the small amount and the consistency is what is the key. Not waiting until you have $1,000 to save one time or $200 to save every month.
Between you and your partner, it was $50 each. Just an example.
Right, something like that. So you can everybody has their own way, but anything you can do, start small and sacrifice, a lot of sacrifice, because we know how it is economically in the region, in the world. So we really have to cut off that extra, maybe the little extra CO, we maybe have to cut off, maybe the little extra hair or nails, but you have to cut off something and sacrifice to reach your goals, because we know that we cannot, not everybody can go big. But I do not want that to deter people from trying to save now for tomorrow. Everything is about planning for tomorrow.
I'm trying to get a deeper understanding of wealth creation. Let's get there. Let's expound that a bit.
Okay, wealth creation. It can be simple. You have, for example, as young people coming up, everybody wants to have their own property. So instead of building that mansion just for you to live in with extra rooms that you maybe don't need, you can have a section that you can do short stay rent or even long-term rent. Or if you can afford it, you build a floor that you go into rent, or some sort of structure that you can get rent from, real estate. That's just one way. A business venture, and again, we do not have to think for like a big business like with church. We can start a small business, and I will always use my friend Jody Dangleben for that example. Jody started making her little hair products for herself. Her friend find it was going well with her hair, so her friend started sharing in it. She had this page on Facebook which I joined, and then we start buying from her, and that's how Jody started. It's very small as that, and right now everybody knows JD Natural is the next in thing. She's even going regional, and she has a son whom I see videos of assisting her with a little production. So that is where she's already transferring generational wisdom to her son. So tomorrow, when she's no longer there, he can just pick up and go. So he's not just inheriting a business, but he is also inheriting the wisdom to handle the business and pass it on to his generation. Jody, sorry for announcing you on air, but I just have to use you as a very
I'm sure she's appreciating the promotion.
True,
But let's just take a pause there, Heather, and speak to our friends here from the NDFD. I'm sure they want to join the conversation. Good morning again.
Good morning to you, man.
Good morning.
Yes.
Now, how do you collab with the financial month, speaking to the issues that she has mentioned here already of wealth creation and the planning for tomorrow?
Yeah, we've always been a long time partner of ECCB. And as we all know, NDFD is all about creating resilience as well, particularly within our MSME sector. Now, our theme for
hold on, the what is the sector?
MSME, so the small business sector.
All right,
so,
thank you very much. I just
yeah.
want to, some people out there will not
Micro,
understand.
medium.
Micro, medium. Yes,
the micro, small, and medium enterprises.
Thank you.
So,
The acronym there. Yeah,
yes.
thank you.
So building resilience is not just about, not just saving, for example, which is still a very important aspect of it. But another thing that they can do, for example, is invest in income generating assets, for example. So that's another way to plan for tomorrow. Say, for example, you want to set up a business, and the FD is there to help you set it up. If you don't have the funds to do it now, we can make it easier for you via, of course, loan financing. Now, a lot of people are kind of skeptical, scared about loans, but our history will attest to the many successes of entrepreneurs who made it. She just mentioned Jody, and many others, right? Entrepreneurs can make it by not just using your own equity, but you can also basically ask some aid from, we call it the money market, and there are many available assets right there. So NDFD can help you set it up.
But let me just ask a question before you go. I mean, I like to ask a question. So, how easy it is to get a facility, a loan facility from the NDFD? That's very important.
I think it's not hard. It's also not that easy, because at the end of the day, we have certain policies.
It's somewhere in the center. It's not easy, not that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's also good to make it not too easy for entrepreneurs to get what they want.
Okay.
Because we're talking about equity. What's your equity in this entire process? And at the end of the day, we have a big responsibility towards our stakeholders. So meaning we also have to safeguard our investment. So what we're actually doing is we are investing in you. We are investing in your business idea. So we're not doing it via grant investing, but we're doing it via loan investing. And we need a little bit of
So
income from that,
would,
so
would,
that
would I say that you're more flexible than the commercial banks?
I believe so.
I think so.
Yes, we
Okay.
we are,
think so.
because we really work with our stakeholders, particularly the small business people. And earlier you mentioned about you kind of touched on about our current say problem in our electricity and power. All of these power outages.
Outages, yes.
Yeah. So remember, this is something that's I believe it's not. It happens everywhere. It can happen anywhere. And right now, what we are trying to push is resilience through sustainable practices and sustainable equipment. So planning for tomorrow, it could also be interpreted by investing in, say, solar systems, right, or any other resilience building equipment. So it's not just about really savings is important, and we're not saying that it's not, but there's a phrase that says, let your money work for you. So you can only do that by investing your money, right, in something that will generate income for you. And also another thing is that it's if you invest money into, say, a property, right, where it can be it can be safeguarded, or it's not very much affected by usual economic disruptions, for example, inflation, all these things like property and that kind of thing. And so not only we help them do that, but we also make it much easier for them. So for example, just a few months ago, we launched our Resilient You promo, where we make it much easier for them to actually invest in those renewable energy assets and resilience building equipment. So you come to us and you tell us, oh, we want to build our resilience, whether it's all about building resilience vis-a-vis the current power issues that we're having, or building resilience vis-a-vis, say, we just passed the hurricane season, but we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So you want to, say, for example, retrofit your houses or fix your homes and all of these things. We can help you do that as well. So we launched that. So what we're just saying is that we work with our stakeholders, and however whatever we can do to make it easier for them, of course, without totally disregarding our responsibility to our stakeholders to also protect our investments. So there's some kind of a balancing act that we need to do. Miss Casey, you want to add anything?
You on track?
So it's another thing is that which was mentioned by our partner, we need to learn how to invest little by little, right? And it entails a lot of discipline. It's like really allocating certain amounts, right, towards something that you think will be more of an income generating aspect rather than a cost center. In business, we normally divide our units as cost centers and business centers. So that's another way to look at it. How do you now use whatever asset you have, right, to create more for you? So you meet your demands of for today, but you should also not forget, your responsibility in the future. So that's how you do it. And again, lastly, we have to emphasize that time is money.
But again, Heather, I'm sure you'll
Yes.
agree with me that yes, a lot of programs, a lot of facilities by your partners. But how do you educate the public in terms of making them know that these facilities may be and are available? Are you there?
Well, yes, I'm there.
Education is key, but how do we educate this, the public as to how they can get access to these facilities?
Well, our public need to come in to talk to us, but we also have a responsibility to keep town hall meetings. Like we have, FIM has a town hall meeting in Portsmouth on Thursday. So let me take the opportunity to remind people that they can come in and speak with the different partners on their own financial, for their own financial benefit. Sometimes you keep meetings and people do not want to come to this meeting physically. So we have to go digital and make sure that people can get the information, whether they want the information or not. We have to push it in their face. Everybody is on social media, so we have to use social
No, no,
media
no.
a lot.
Hold on. While I agree everybody's on
Mm.
social media, there are a number of persons out there that don't have access
Oh, the
to
access. That's true.
access
That's
to
true.
social media. We have to take note of that
On the
because
ground.
if people don't understand
Right.
Facebook and
That's true. That's true. We'd have to put boots on the ground, go into the communities
you have
and
to
speak with
facilitate.
them.
Yes,
Yes, we'd have to do that.
you need a way to get to these people.
You have to get to them.
Yes,
Walk
that's
into the, even if it takes walking into the communities with a loudspeaker, because you keep the town hall meetings, and because I'm home and comfortable, I really don't want to go outside. But sometimes we can just go right out and talk to them, pass with our vehicle, loudspeaker, speak to them. They will hear. Anybody hear a loudspeaker, they want to hear what's going on. So that is a way we can directly reach them and encourage them to come in, for more information, to come into us, to speak with us. And I want to touch on something NDF said, protecting your resources and your investments. That is what insurance is all about, planning for tomorrow and protecting your investments. And let me just say that we don't only protect our investment when it belongs to the bank, when the bank has a lien on it. We also must continue to protect that investment after we have cleared off our debts, because it is always our property. So was I clear enough?
You were clear enough, but as you say, we need to have town hall meetings. And I think part of the problem as well, in some communities you don't have community centers. You need to have roadside meetings
roadside.
to attract the public, because they just maybe want to hear what's going on. They don't know. As we said, and we have established that not everybody is into technology. I'm sure you guys.
That's true. That is true.
We have to find a way to reach these people. Continue.
Thank you for that, though.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for the idea for especially the roadside meetings.
Yes.
So another thing that we love doing at NDFD is really giving our stakeholders, our clientele, the small business people opportunities to to earn more revenue. So that's what we do. We use our own resources to give them more, and we have to take advantage of all of these things. So one of those platforms that we do is this iconic Cradle in the Streets that we'll be doing again this October, and we have a smaller version of that we do every month. We call it the marketplace.
Okay.
We do it at the end of every month end. But of course, the biggest the culmination of all these things is our Cradle in the Streets, which I think our chair person on that activity can expound more. Miss Casey?
Miss Casey, tell us what's going on.
Okay, this year will be the 7th annual Cradle in the Streets. And basically we're supporting local, right? So we have the local manufacturers, agro-processors, the service providers, craft vendors, florists and plant providers. We have agricultural vendors, and small business stakeholders. Okay. The main objective for the activity is to create an awareness of the high quality products available locally, to create a marketing and advertising opportunities for small and micro businesses, to create the opportunity to secure orders and customers, and to provide the small micro business owners with the opportunity to promote sales during especially the festive season. We have a lot of diasporas coming down and everything, and to develop the export potential of the small and micro businesses. This year, the event will be held on the 20th of October. That's basically next Friday from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 in the evening. The opening ceremony begins at 9 o'clock, where we have different people speaking. We have our solidarity messaging from our partners. We also have entertainment, and it'll be hosted by Emilia Joseph, and in the afternoon by Chris John Jones. We want to say thank you to our partner, ICA, as well as our gold sponsors. We have Belfast Estate and Flow Dominica. We also have National Bank, Element Agencies, Jolly's Manufacturing, Caribbean, Dexia, Trois DNO, Heineken, Dowasco, Quenchi, Auto Trade, Coca-Cola, Do It Center, big up to EMS, Astafans, Dominica Freight Systems, Adam Songs, Kyrie FM, Astafans. I say Astafans already. Q95 for sure.
For sure. God give me life. I'll be there with you on
Thank
that.
you.
Always look
Yes.
forward to meeting you, Matt.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So we want to encourage all Dominicans to come down to that event on that day to support the people, also to buy your local products.
I think you mentioned, you'll create export opportunities to have the businesses export their products. How does that possible?
Well, we partner with Dexia.
Okay.
So they come on ground and they meet with the clients and give them, I guess, the ideas and the information that they need to be of export level.
And again, Matt, if you look at, for example, how NDFT really started, right? It started when even commercial banks and leaders and visionaries from both public and private sector realized that there are people who are at that point were unbankable, so to speak, or not qualified for those bigger bank loans. So that's why the reason why NDFD is there. We really work with our small business people, and not just we're not just about after disbursing the needed financial support. What we do is we really work with them in such a way where we talk to them, we visit them. So at the end of the day, being export ready is not just about creating the connections, but first and foremost, your whatever you are offering, whether it's product or services, should be really export ready. So meaning the product itself is ready at a certain stage where you can really sell this to people outside the island, and where the product itself can create demand for you. Because at the end of the day, as we say in business school, the biggest marketing tool that you can use is your own product or your own service. So that's how NDFD comes in. We just don't provide financial support. We also provide business services support. In fact, they can just come to us just because of that business support services that we offer, including creation of financial plans, or even collating their financial records, or even creating their business cards, their logos, and all of these things. So we are a 360-degree service that small business can use. And this is another way to really plan for tomorrow. You strengthen what you have today, so that you always be ready for whatever shocks that's going to happen in the future.
Any words from you at this time, Heather? Heather, are you there? I suspect she's not. We're going to come back.
Yes, I'm there.
I'm just saying, if you want to add anything at this time.
Okay, he was very succinct in his delivery, so I think it was clear.
Okay.
I do agree. Yes.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll come back. Please use some independence music. We'll be right back.
Okay.
And those of you outside who want to make a phone call in and ask a question, feel free. We're going to come back after this. Again, if you have any questions, now it's time to you can open up the lines. Financial month. If you have any ideas, any challenge that you may have, any challenges you may have, the experts are here. You can pose your questions.
Where did I movie? Give me the girl a movie. Oh, na 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 na. Where did I where did I was so? Give me the girl I was so. Oh, girl, na 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 na. Where did I what did I oh? Where did I oh, baby? What's your mercy? Where did I oh? He's on Jolly. Wow.
Wow. Oh, you know already. Good French music. My brain going, I don't know why Mr. Pass the mic, man. Wow. Real time. I miss cultural gala. Real
And
time.
don't forget,
I miss Creole in the park. Cultural time. I miss it crap back.
Creole in the Streets, October 20.
Wow. We want Creole Festival. We want Creole in the park. Wow.
All right, wow. All right, we're back. So you can, of course, ask your question. The numbers are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097, 616-425-7305, 432-9624. We're here with the NDFD and the, Heather from the ICWWI. So feel free to call and ask any questions that you want at this time, that you may need some loan facility. NDFD is the place to go to get that facility. Now, talk about your success, your successful stories coming out of the NDFD. Let's talk to that. Some of the success stories that you've heard.
Yeah, well, largely, of course, we cannot divulge our clients, but there are.
No, I don't personal information. No.
Okay.
I'm just talking generally.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's normal for us to be a little bit intimidated when you hear the word loan, you know. But if you really look into the the successful business stories, not just locally but internationally, a lot of these businesses are built not just by their own equity but by support from financial institutions, you know. And it's a generally sound practice for business people to, you know, we call it leverage, to leverage on the money market or what the financial institutions can offer you. The only thing that they really need to be careful of is they have to be their projection as to if they can really afford that kind of loan investment. And what we do is we really help them identify or determine, you know, for example, how much they can get for now, by of course looking into many aspects, including the idea, their business idea itself. And we even go deeper by looking into their financial statements. So we also become their consultants in a way, right? So that's the reason why there are numerous successful businesses here in Dominica.
Sometimes I know people with some great ideas. They come to the banks, they come to NDFD, but you don't really see their vision though. You know, they want to create a business, but you don't actually see their vision. How do you guide them in that direction though?
Well, there are certain factors that you have.
I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from.
Yes,
because you might notice,
definitely.
What, that doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah.
when the person may invest and go somewhere else and invest, you say, "What? I didn't know that would work."
Well, on our end, we actually like ideas that are not that are unique, because we believe in diversifying our economy. So we like an idea that separates itself from the pack. But of course we still have to look into the viability of the idea. We can always determine that by looking into other similar ideas that became successful, not just locally but but regionally. That's one. Number two, you have to look into the market. So what we normally do is we encourage them to do some kind of market research, because we have to really determine if there's a demand for a certain kind of product of services. Now, you can determine the demand by looking into the numbers, but we have very experienced officers, for example, at the NDFD, or even in our in the banks, that can really, by just way of gut feel or maybe by way of experience, they could say, okay, that idea can work. However, we have to do this and that. So we can always, as I would sometimes tell my officers, we can roll the dice with that, but we have to mitigate the risks that comes with that kind of idea, right? So at the end of the day, remember, Matt, whatever projections that you do, right, based on whatever data sets that you have, at the end of the day, they're still projections. You get me? So tomorrow something might happen, another factor might come in that just will totally basically put your projections on the side, or basically make your projections totally wrong. So at the end of the day, it's a combination of conclusions that you take from the data that you see, and at the end of the day, it's also about how you feel. So it's a combination of gut feel, at the same time scientific decisions based on projections. So it's a combination of both. So we have of course our head, our executive director, Mr. Cletus Joseph, who is very much experienced when it comes to small businesses, and at the same time, he's also very much educated when it comes to the business, the science of business, so to speak. So that's how we determine if the certain idea is viable or not. Miss Casey there.
Can I jump in?
Oh yes.
And hold on.
Yes,
I think,
yes.
Heather is on the line there. Are you there, Heather?
Yes, I'm there. Claire?
Okay, go ahead. You're going to say
Okay.
something.
Yes. As he mentioned, market research on behalf of our clients. I want to ask this question: how available is data in Dominica for market research?
Good question. Good question. Yeah.
So it's really an issue here in Dominica. Data is not always readily available. You really have to look into.
Can you get
to
data from the
these data.
Statistics Ministry?
You can, but you have to look for more. You have to validate what they have, because I think right now they're still in the process of updating what they have. But what I normally do is we would conduct desktop research, right? Look into the internet if there's something that we can use, or really, as you mentioned earlier, go right there on the ground and really ask people about the viability of your idea. So readiness of data, I admit, is a
scarce.
challenge.
It's
Yes,
scarce.
it's a challenge, but it doesn't mean that we cannot come up with something that can guide us in deciding whether we would invest in it or not.
All right, it's already 10:40 in your question has been answered?
Yes.
Okay.
And sorry, Matt, just
Go
to
ahead.
add a little bit more, right? Another important aspect that we look into is the character of the person, right? That's why it's very important for our entrepreneurs to establish that character from the get-go. So it entails basically following certain principles, best practices, for example. Because at the end of the day, if, say, for example, you come to us with an idea that's unique, right, and we don't really have much other businesses to compare that idea with, especially locally, there are times where we would roll the dice with you, or we would invest in you because of your character, because of what you've established. before you come to us. So a lot of this are really a combination of many things. We decide not just based on the financial aspects or projections, but there are so many other factors. And what we normally do as well is, if we feel that we need to talk personally with the person or with the entrepreneur or the small business person, we do that. So that's something that we do. We sit down with them and really get to know them in a much deeper way. Because at the end of the day, Matt, there we should really build financial resilience, right? And and then on a macro level, we can do that by really building up our MSME sector or our small business people. We need more entrepreneurs here than consumers. So we need more producers than consumers. We need Dominica to produce more so that we can export more, right? Rather than us importing.
How much of an education program you guys have at the NDFD?
We do a lot of education program. We use a lot of platforms. We conduct trainings in cooperation, in partnership with many other institutions out there, and then also on the officer level. For example, Miss Casey, I'll use Miss Casey. She loves to really with our clients, get to know them, get to know their ideas. She would go to them almost every week to visit them, see how they're going. So again, it entails we require our officers to visit our clients and really talk to them and educate them and try to assist them however we can. So that's a big part of what we do, Matt, training our entrepreneurs, because we believe that building a successful enterprise is not just about giving you the financial need. At the end of the day, the most important aspect of a business enterprise is the entrepreneur himself or herself. So that's why we have to work with the entrepreneur themselves, right, or the entrepreneurs themselves. Because at the end of the day, we can give you all the financial resources that you need, all the assets that you need. But if you are not ready, or if you are not on that level that you need to be to really build up wealth or create wealth, it's going to be very hard for the person.
In terms of the loans, do you have limitations in terms of, do you have boundaries?
Well, our minimum loan amount is $1,000 and maximum is $150,000.
150,000. Okay. Yeah. And that can go towards what?
So,
what areas can you explore?
Business in general, business. All type of business, agriculture. You have the bus, passenger bus services. You have the snacks and restaurants, bars, agro processing, all type of business. Yeah. So we have different criteria level. That 1,000 to 30,000 will be in-house approvals. From 30,001 to 70,000 is credit committee level, and then from 70,001 to 150 would be the general board level.
For example, somebody's thinking about right now, speaking about with the tourist season coming up, but that market itself may be overloaded as it relates to getting a bus to that business. So how do you access, or with the market overloaded, is it something that you would want to consider though?
To be honest, if the client has a bus already, we can try to facilitate you. But because of the saturation already in the market, to do that bus loan right now, we have to really do a lot of research before we execute that.
Okay.
Because
especially passenger buses, yes, it's already overloaded.
Overloaded.
Yeah. Matt, at the end of the day, we also don't want to kind of set the person for failure. At the end of the day, it's not just about you taking a loan from us and you have the needed security and collateral and we good. We also, of course, look into the viability of the business, because we want them to be successful as well. That's basically is the main goal of NDFD, for the business, the small business to be successful. So we do everything to help them achieve that level.
Let's go back to our friends there from the IWC there. Anything else that you want to add?
Of course,
right,
ICWI.
ICWI, I'm sorry.
Okay, I just want to remind our clients and our customers and the rest of our listeners, about our Road Angel policy at ICWI, where apart from your discounts, you have 15% additional discount, free accident forgiveness, free uninsured motorist coverage. That's if you you have an accident with somebody who is at fault but doesn't have insurance, and up to 8 days of alternate transportation. And another feature we have the third party plus and the comprehensive plus. So you can visit our offices for further information. Portsmouth office is on Bay Street. Rose office is on Castle Street. So make sure you check us at ICWI for all your insurance coverages.
Let me ask you a question there specifically. What is different from the IW or ICWI than the other insurances? What is specific?
The first thing, our USP, our unique selling point, I would say, is service.
All right.
Service.
I know too. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm there.
Yes. As it relates to, say, vehicle loans, oh, no, sorry, not vehicle loans, insurance policies for vehicles. How do you, trying to get the word there, how do you decide what type of vehicles you insure?
Well, we have to do inspection. There is a year, if the vehicle is 15 years old or older, we wouldn't offer comprehensive coverage. You'd have to do third-party coverage. But vehicles younger than 15 years old can have third-party, comprehensive, or any of the other coverages. And the inspection would entail checking the physical condition of the vehicle, and to include the tires, the glass, especially if you want full comprehensive with glass coverage. The braking system, the years left, that's why we always require that document you prepare. The valuation, that's why we require a valuation. So we do not just take the valuation and put it in the desk. We actually go through it to inspect, to see that everything in the vehicle is of proper working condition before we insure it. So,
go ahead.
Okay. So, and on an ending note, I know we are soon out of time. So on an ending note, I want to remind, especially the North, that on Thursday at 6:30 to 8:30, come into the town hall and the Credit Union Convention Center to speak to your financial partners.
Which of the partners will be there?
Let me see.
Give me a list.
Oh, give me the list. We are expecting National Bank, Sagicor, our representative, our country manager from ECCB, and Central Credit Union itself.
Okay, so
let me say that again: NBD, Sagicor, Central Credit Union, ICWI, and our country manager from ECCB.
Of course, on the NDFD will be there too.
Well. On NDFD.
They're right here.
They're right here.
It's okay. And what time will that meeting be?
From 6:30 to 8:30. You will have introductions from the different partners, and also one-on-one with the partners of your choice.
Of your choice, okay.
Yes.
Any closing comments at this time as we go? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I just want,
go ahead.
In reference to Quail on the Streets.
Okay, fine.
I want to say that I forgot the entertainment part, right? Yeah. So we have entertainment from DJ Snow, DJ Epic, Abia Israel, Shanice Nafon. We have cultural performances from the Granby and the Pilit Savan Cultural Group. We also have the creative dancers from the Pilit Savan Primary School, and our headline band, Signal Band. Okay, so come down to end of the 7th annual Quail on the Streets on October.
Starting time?
8 o'clock in the morning to 8 p.m.
That's a long day.
That's a whole day. So you come and you meet your local producers, you have entertainment, we have
local foods as well,
and drinks on sale.
I usually get my lunch at the NDFD on the street on that day.
Oh yes, lots of food, lots of local food. Your crabs. Perhaps it is open?
Yes, it's open. It's open.
Okay.
You won't get yourself in trouble.
Okay.
It's open.
Yes. Okay.
Your closing comments?
Yeah, well, another thing is that, again, you come to us, let's build our overall resilience. NDFD is there to help you. These days, we cannot be too sure of what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's always really advisable for us to start building that resilience. Now, what we're really pushing is, aside from of course the growth of the sector, is to really build our climate resilience. That's why we have this resilient promo where you can get a loan from us if you want to, for example, purchase your solar panels, LED lights, all of those
I
things.
was about to ask that. How easy it is to facilitate a loan for that process?
Well, we made it really easy because in this particular promo, right, we won't be needing. So we kind of relaxed our security requirements when it comes to, you come to us and tell us you want to build your resilience. So with for example, for businesses, right, we would not be requiring any at some levels we will not be requiring cash deposits, and the fees, we can include that in the loan amount itself, right? We extended our terms. Normally, for businesses, right, we were only up to 7 years, sorry, 8 years. But with this particular promo, we extending it up to 96 months or 8 years.
So
That's for businesses.
what about
For non-business,
non-business?
so for non-business is you can you can, so there are two things that you can do. You can either consolidate loans and at the same time purchase your resilient building equipment, right? Or number two, you can take a loan fully for the purpose of building resilience, or in a way greening your home or your businesses.
Okay.
So you can get up to 30,000, right? If you are consolidating something, 40% of that should be for the green and resilient building aspect of the loan, and then 60% can be all about the consolidation. So you come to us, we make it easier for you to pay for your to manage your debts, because we'll try to work on lowering your monthly payment by consolidating your loans. At the same time, we would be building your resilience, climate resilience and all other resilience against all other shocks. So that we're trying, that's a resilient to promo. And finally, with regard to CITS, we will also have a special section there, which is the green section. So it will be basically highlighted by our Green Innovation Summit alumni. They will be there to really showcase their eco-friendly products. And at the same time, our Green Innovation Summit team will also be there to promote our summit, which is really all about encouraging young entrepreneurs to consider eco-friendly approach, or building or manufacture or producing eco-friendly products and services. As you all know, Green Innovation Summit, we do that every 2 years. So we just did the second edition this year, and we will be doing the next edition 2 years from now. So for those who have ideas, green business ideas in mind, they have ample time to prepare for our next summit. And what they can do is they can visit our section this coming next week, next Friday, to know more about our Green Innovation Summit. And once again, this coming Thursday, we will be up there in the north for the continuation of our Financial Information Month outreach. Of course, in cooperation, in partnership, in leadership, led by, of course, by ECCB.
Have there any final words before you go?
Sure.
Yes, go ahead.
I just want to go over the list again. We
Okay.
have SurePay, the Aid Bank, NBD, NDFD, Sagico, Central Credit Union, ICWI. And I want to, before I leave, I have to leave some tips, but before I leave the tips, let me go over something from the generational planning. The last bit of information. When planning, you want to ensure that your family, after you pass, your family doesn't have a struggle in the transfer of their inheritance. So it would be advisable that you have a financial planner or some legal professional to assist you with a will or trust. Because what happens sometimes is families have conflict because of inheritance. You do not want any conflict. You want each child to know what exactly belongs to them. If it's a company you are leaving, you have to have percentages. So your lawyer would work with you to know what percentage of that company you live in belongs to which child, just to avoid all the conflicts that it has. And there is a little critique that people have about generational planning and generational wealth. They say it can lead to, how you call it? I would say toxicity okay, let's say the beneficiaries, right? The beneficiaries, because they didn't work hard for the assets and the resources, they would squander, and then it cannot go to the next generation because it was squandered. I believe that happens because of the lack of communication while you're alive and acquiring these assets, the lack of communication and the lack of financial literacy. So what we have to do while we're alive is to develop that financial literacy culture among our beneficiary, among our family, because we want to make sure that they are comfortable. So please have a will, sit with your financial advisor and your legal administrator and have a will done so that your transfer will be smooth sailing and you can rest easy. Now for our tips before we leave. Plan for tomorrow starts today. So start early and start small. Do not wait when you have a ton of money to start planning and to start investing and to start saving, because that sum of money you're waiting for to start, you may never have it. And remember, you are not leaving just assets for your beneficiaries, but you are also leaving financial wisdom to assist them to manage what you have left so they in turn can pass it on. And the importance of estate planning, always remember that estate planning is very important. Seek legal counsel, and communication is the key. While you are here, let your family know what you have, where you have it, what you are living, and how you are living it. So on behalf of Financial Information Month partners, I want to say thank you for our listeners for listening. Thank you to K95, and thank you for our partner here, the NDFD from ICWI.
All right, thank you, Heather. Any final word? You have 30 seconds.
Well, let's just continue planning for tomorrow, right? Invest little by little, and we always have to remember that time is money.
Thank you. You good?
CITS. Next week. Next Friday, CITS.
20.
Yes.
Thank you.
20th.
All right. Thank
20th.
you. All right, let's take some Jinping music as we roll up. Thank you, Fire. Thank you, guys. Don't forget Creole on the Streets next Friday right here. Baba,